Hey, it's Kevin. Welcome to another episode of the Road Warrior video blog. Just tooling the interstates of Nashville, Tennessee today. Just another beautiful Sunday. And it's funny, even if I didn't do these Road Warriors, and it's almost where the Road Warrior kind of came out of, I've always been a person who liked to putter around. I don't like sitting in an office. I don't like, and especially now that I work out of my home too and have an office, I spend a lot of time just in the house. I can go days without leaving. So I love to just get out and I love to drive. I always have. And Nashville's a funny town where we've got three interstates coming through, 65, 24, and 40. So you've got interstates surrounding the town. Then we've got Briley Parkway, which is usually the road you'll catch these Road Warrior videos if you're ever paying attention. That's usually where most of these are shot, because Briley Parkway basically makes a circle around Nashville. It's almost like one of those, the 400 or 800 named interstates, you know what I mean? There's 465 in Indianapolis that goes around Indy. We actually have 840, which is way far south of Nashville, way far north of Nashville. So it doesn't fully circle Nashville, but it goes around Nashville. It's not close enough for me to use. But a lot of times I just like getting on the interstate and driving and watching and just, seeing the world. Now, I'll be the first to admit, as many years as I've been driving, the 30 plus years, what is it? I figured it out one time. Didn't we talk about that? It's been like 37 years or something like that. Well, subtract 53 from 16. I can't do it while I'm driving because I'm actually driving through some heavy traffic right now as two interstates merge here, as we merge from 24 and 40 as they combine for a short time. So I'm more worried about the traffic than I am about doing my math. I figured out I can't multitask that well when it comes to doing multiplication or division or subtraction or addition or anything like that. But it's interesting how, as comfortable as I am driving, I'm probably more nervous than I've ever been before about driving. And that's because of the people around me. I remember people always telling you to worry about, kids driving, young kids driving. You don't think about it when you're a young kid. You're impervious to that. Now you think about it all the time, and you see these kids, and you look over in the car next to you, it's like, oh my gosh, I've got underwear older than you, kid, the old joke. It's not true necessarily, but it's amazing where you look at it, it's like, you can't be more than 16, 17 years old. Why are they letting you drive? It's that privilege that comes when you've been doing it for so long. You forget that part where you were once that person, and you just, do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. And it's funny, I do love just tooling around, whether it's on the weekdays, the weekends, whenever it is, and just watching, looking at cars, watching people. It's kind of hard to do when you're doing 65 or 70 miles an hour, depending on where you're driving, but I still like to do it. It's still almost a hobby. I love that feeling of being in the car and just going down the road. I've often thought about being a long-haul trucker. I almost did it at one time in my life, back when I was very young, and I don't know if I'm glad I didn't do it or I wish I had. It's a hard life. It's a life where you're away from home all the time, and you don't hear great stories about being a truck driver, but there is an allure to it. And being on the road and seeing the country would have been the cool part, even though you don't necessarily get to enjoy it all as a truck driver. I enjoy what I can now, and whether it's just driving circles around Nashville, I'll enjoy it and have a good time doing it. And I'll be back doing it again next week with another Road Warrior video blog. KevinMason.us, our home on the internet for the Road Warrior videos. We also load them up to YouTube too. Boy, if YouTube ever went away, I don't know what we'd do. We'd take up a lot of bandwidth, wouldn't we? Kevin Mason Music is my username on YouTube. It's where you can find the Road Warrior videos. It's where they're housed. You can also subscribe there. Again, like I said, it doesn't matter where you watch, just as long as you do. See you next week.